Welcome back to another episode of Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric Dickinson, and before I get started, if you would be so kind to give me a follow on the socials, over on X, I am at Eric Not Sorry. I'm a little more spicier there. A little tamer on Facebook, where I'm found at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I want to apologize for the last couple episodes. The audio is a little off. I hope it's a little bit better now. It doesn't quite sound perfect in my headset, but then again, I'm also half deaf. But hopefully, the audio sounds better in this episode. I had to make some upgrades, which is why the delay. I did not have an episode on Tuesday. And again, I apologize for that. People can forgive poor video. People do not forgive poor audio, right? Okay, so when your audio is bad, when my audio is bad, that really upsets me. That really bothers me because WTF, right? So hopefully it's dialed in a little bit better. So let's get on with it. Enough rambling, right? Okay, I'm going to start off with a story from Minnesota. A Minnesota county assistant attorney arrested. Oh, really? Minnesota. Y'all are making the news quite a bit, Minnesota. Not necessarily for the good reasons, especially when a former Anoka County assistant attorney has been arrested and charged in connection with an alleged commercial sex operation. Oh, fantastic. Andrea Lee Sampson, 35. I don't know why they put in her age, but anyways, of Fridley previously worked in the Anoka County's attorney's office in the family law and civil divisions. Oh, family law, great. She was arrested on Friday, August 14th, 2026, booked into Anoka County Jail, and later transferred to Hennepin County Jail. She faces 26 counts, 13 for promoting prostitution of an individual, words are hard, and 13 for receiving profits from prostitution. Oh, great. Reports indicate she is being held on a $1 million bond with an initial court appearance scheduled around August 17th. According to the criminal complaint and an investigation by the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension that began in 2021, authorities allege the operation involved at least 13 women, all 18 years of age or older. Well, at least she's got standards, and operated out of Minneapolis, Bloomington, Eden Prairie, St. Louis Park, and other nearby areas for several years, including on the website called Minnesota Erotic Personals. Oh, and required to turn over a portion of earnings from transactions. Yeah, that's because she's a pimp. Court documents describe reports from the victims that include fees of about $100 per customer, monitoring, and in some cases, threats or intimidation. Sampson's alleged involvement, according to the complaint, included securing locations, some properties she owned in Minneapolis, where photographs for advertisements were taken and where some transactions occurred. She is also accused of creating and maintaining limited liability companies that investigators say functioned as shell companies to help hide or move profits from the operation. The complaint further notes that the group was involved in assisted living and autism related businesses and collected money from those as well. Awesome. More Leering Centers, Minnesota. Great. Three other individuals were named in connection with the case. We have Frank Devon Reeves, 57, Victoria Komanash, 30, and Catherine Michelle Tomes, 36. Reeves is described as having a central role in recruitment, setting rates, and collecting money. Komanash is alleged to have handled day-to-day management tasks such as photos, advertisement, and cash collections. Tomes is tied to the operation of the Minnesota Erotica Personals website. Phone records and other evidence cited in the complaint indicate that Sampson and the two other women appeared to have personal relationships with Reeves during the period of the alleged operation. Oh, it's just a cornucopia of awful Great. The Anoka County Attorney's Office stated that it was notified by the BCA on February 25th, 2026, of the investigation into Sampson's conduct outside her official duties. Whoa. She was doing this while employed by the county? Holy crap. She was placed on administrative leave that day, and her employment ended on March 9th, 2026. She was doing this while your tax dollars were paying her. How's that feel? How are your taxes, Minnesota? The office said it cooperated with the investigation. The charges against Sampson were filed by the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. This remains under investigation and allegations, and everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, dude, dude, what is going on in Minnesota? You had an assistant attorney running a sex prostitution ring. What? Bro, every day. Every day there's something new. There's something new. Especially out of Massachusetts. Hey, Mass, I've been talking about you guys lately. How about them Sox? They've been actually doing pretty good lately, right? But I don't want to talk about the Sox. I mean, I do. But I'd rather talk about how the mayor of Lawrence was arrested. And apparently he's playing how he doesn't speak English, apparently. In Lawrence, Massachusetts, two high-profile cases involving public figures have drawn federal attention in recent years. But here's the latest. So the first case is a fraud case. Oh, good. More government fraud. Of course. Oh, good. Let's see here. Hey, everybody in Massachusetts, specifically Lawrence, how are your finances? Are they doing well? How are your taxes? Yeah, everything's banging. Everything's awesome. No? Aw, yeah. Mine too. Mine too. My taxes are high. My grocery bills are high. But you know what? That's okay though. You and I get to suffer because Lawrence Mayor Brian DePena didn't care because on Friday, August 14th, 2026, FBI and IRS agents arrested him at his home. Now, while you struggle to make ends meet, the 61-year-old two-term mayor faces one count of wire fraud and one count of money laundering. Great. Let's see how much. Oh, prosecutors say DePena fraudulently obtained more than $1.5 million in economic injury disaster loans, COVID-era small business relief, through Tenair's Tire Service Incorporated, a Lawrence tire and automotive business he owned. How you doing, Mass? How's everybody doing? These people are just snakes, bro. The funds were intended for business operation expenses. Instead, according to the charging documents, he allegedly diverted large sums to personal and political use. About $85,000 towards personal IRS tax liabilities, roughly $130,000 went into his mayoral campaign account, including checks written as campaign loans, and approximately $883,000 to pay off high-interest private mortgages on properties he owns in Lawrence. What is it with people in government buying property and using it for nefarious reasons? We had that crappy assistant attorney from Minnesota running prostitution out of her properties, and this schmuck, unbelievable. DePena applied for the loans in 2020 and in 2021. Subsequent increases brought the total to more than $1.65 million. As of early 2026, the outstanding principal balance remained approximately $1.65 million because he really hasn't made many payments. He was elected mayor in 2021 and reelected in 2025. So when you reelected him, Lawrence, Mass, he already bent you over and gave it to you. Oh, wait, hold on. I have a new button. He bent you over and hard. Yeah, I got a cool new button. This Roadcaster's dope, dude.
I could do this with my voice.
Is that not cool? Okay, getting back to the real stuff. He made an initial appearance in federal court in Boston. Totally sidebar there. The medicine's kicking in. The same day as his arrest, and was released on the condition that included reporting to probation, remaining in Massachusetts, and having no contact with witnesses. Each charge carries a potential sentence of up to 20 years in prison. We know that's not going to happen. Now, I mentioned there was two cases. Well, obviously that one with the Lawrence mayor, that obviously is right now. However, the second one, because this guy's connected to him, so this kind of has been spun in and is getting traction. People are noticing it and raising some eyebrows because they're like, wait, I didn't hear about that. And that happened when? So the second case, it's a few years old, but as I said, it popped up on my timeline because of the mayor's arrest. And honestly, I never heard about this story. I never did. The arrest was of, let's see, Giovanni Martez Rosario. Rosario, who previously served as chief of staff for Mayor de Pena, was arrested in February 2023. So when de Pena was defrauding the COVID funds, this guy was also arrested. Huh. State police, acting on a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, oh, this is going to be great, about images uploaded from an IP address tied to his residence. They executed a search warrant and found dozens of images of child sexual abuse materials on his personal iPad. I never heard about this story. You would have thought, but no. Federal authorities later charged him with one count of possession of child pornography and one count of transportation of child pornography. Rosario admitted to owning the accounts involved, searching for and downloading the material for years, and transferring files for storage because he likes to goon to kids. He was fired from his city position after the arrest, and he pled guilty in December of 2024. And in March of 2025, he was sentenced to 43 months in federal prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. Wow, that's it for possession of child porn. Look, I don't know if this is the first time you've all tuned in, and if it is, welcome aboard the nightmare that is my life. But when it comes to kids and stuff like this, I have a bad case of Tourette's that kicks in, and I can't help it. Wood chipper! Just keep repeating that word. Wood chipper! Every time it comes to anybody that hurts kids. Wood chipper. I blame it on the Tourette's. I don't really have Tourette's. But yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring this next one right meow back to Connecticut. Yeah, I did that pause for a second because yeah, if you saw the movie, you'll get you understand the reference, but there's another reference because I'm going to be talking about the racist comments made in West Hartford by a board of ed vice chair. Yes, Latoya Yagaloff, vice chair of the West Hartford Board of Education in Connecticut, has drawn widespread attention after a video from a public board meeting showed her wearing cat ears. That's right. You heard me. While proposing that there should be financial incentives specifically for black and brown teachers and administrators. Yeah. This is not a joke. This is not for real. This is not the internet. This is in West Hartford effing Connecticut, folks. Okay? This person's like serious. In the clip, which circulated widely starting around August 13th of 2026, Yagaloff referenced the district's diversity efforts and asked, quote, "Are there financial incentives for blacks and brown people to work here?" It's an extra burden, quite frankly, to be a black and brown teacher and administrator in the district. So I think we need to start thinking about that financially if we're not already. We got money. End quote. What? Reports also quote her noting the Office of Equity and Belonging and stating the district could figure it out because, quote, it's West Hartford, end quote. Hey, West Hartford residents, how's your taxes? I know I sound like a broken record with. How are your streets? How are the potholes? How's crime? Speaking of those schools, how are they? How are your schools, West Hartford? You know, according to this cat right here, um, well, apparently, according to her, if the black and brown teachers got paid more, your schools would be better. Apparently, I don't know. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Yagaloff, a Democrat. Well, yeah, of course she is. She's wearing cat ears in public. Of course she's a Democrat. She's wearing cat ears in public to a Board of Ed meeting. Okay? She's not wearing them to Walmart like a normal person. She is also the vice chair of the Board of Ed, wearing cat ears. Okay. Local coverage and her public profile described her background in equity work, restorative justice, activism. Exactly what you would expect from somebody that wants black people and brown people to get paid more simply because they were born a certain color. The meeting's remarks focused on attracting and supporting greater racial diversity among staff. Yeah, because the best qualified people to educate your children would be a stupid idea. The comments promoted online criticism and discussions about race-based pay differentials versus equal pay for equal work. Yeah, what a concept. Official West Hartford Board of Education membership lists her as I already stated, as vice chair. Yes. Let's see. I found some other interesting things about this interesting lady. West Hartford, do better. In a Facebook post around the time of July 4th of this year, she argued that slavery began in 1619 and remained the legal foundation of the American colonies until 1776. Because we can't just wave a flag and light fireworks. She wrote that celebrating the anniversary, quote, may feel like a celebration to you, but it was like celebrating a nightmare that built the country and that created conditions for white privilege, end quote. These are Facebook posts. She's on your Board of Ed, West Hartford. Really? I wouldn't allow her to bag my groceries. Let's see here. She also put, quote, would you celebrate the historic beginning of the Holocaust or other genocides and atrocities? End quote. And added other comments such as, quote, why can't we just all be American on July 4th? Because we all were not even considered human on July 4th, 1776, end quote. Well, lady, we can't all be considered Americans on July 4th because, well, I mean, I consider myself and most people around as Americans, but you consider yourself something other than an American, so we all can't be American on July 4th. It's people like you. That's why. She also dedicated a 4th of July run to her, quote, ancestors whose feet and ankles were shackled, and stated the only reason the economy was ever good was because of over 200 years of free labor from the black slave trade, asserting, quote, we literally built this country, so when y'all say I see both sides, there's only one side to that, end quote. Wow. Racist much? West Hartford, what are you doing? I mean, after reading that, I'm not going to like spurg out and start blaming people on the Irish slave trade because my ancestors were. We all know. I'm not. This is retarded. West Hartford, do better. She is on your board of ed. Why? What it? She's not. She's good for nothing. She's good for lulls. Wait till you see her picture. I'm gonna be putting up. Oh yeah, she's got cat ears, bro. She's spewing stupid stuff, and she's wearing cat ears at a public board of ed meeting with constituents. Wow. Okay. After criticism, she doubled down in the follow-up post, saying that she stood by the message with the heart of her message. Whatever. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this stupid asshole. I'm sorry. I'm just West Hartford, do better. I mean, really? She's clearly racist. I mean, really. Oh, and she. I'm sorry. Here. Oh, I found this. She's complaining that since the video has gone public, that she's been receiving a wave of racist and misogynistic harassment, including the N-word and others. I don't care. Now, look, I don't condone harassment. I don't condone people calling emails, whatever, using the N-word. Okay, obviously, no. But at the same time, you brought this heat on yourself, dumbass, by opening your mouth and saying stupid shit. And by showing up in public at a board of ed meeting wearing fucking cat ears. What are you? It's not Halloween. It was July. Okay? It wasn't Halloween. Unbelievable. But yeah, you brought that on yourself. So I don't condone it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to harass you. I'm just going to, do this segment and friggin' move on. But you brought it on yourself there, baby girl. I don't really care. So naturally, I found out local Democrats defended her. Of course they did, because they hate you, and they condemned the attacks and the harassment. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. These statements were widely described by critics. Let's see, equating the U.S. founding with the Holocaust or genocide, and as divisive or anti-American rhetoric from a school board official. Yeah, you think? Like, I don't even know where to begin. I'm right meow. I'm really trying to be really nice right meow. I mean, come on. She brought on herself. West Hartford, I will ask you again. How are your taxes? How are your streets? How are your schools? This lady believes in her heart that simply because someone was born a certain skin color, that they automatically deserve more of your money because, I don't know, they not even to help teach your kids better, just because it's a burden. What, being a black teacher is a burden, I guess. Well, then don't freaking do the job. Quit. I would rather you quit than educate children, because with your ideology, you ain't teaching ish. I just wanted, like I said, oh wait, where's her photo? Where's her photo? There it is. There it is, folks. Ain't she a trooper? Ain't that great? Yeah. Do better, West Hartford. Do better. I mean, really. This really? Come on, bruh. Come on. So she clearly supports a policy that is racist. She has put forth statements that would support a policy that is racist. West Hartford, do you want to keep a racist on your board of ed? I'm asking a legitimate question. This lady, clearly, if someone put some policy, motion, or however the hell it works in West Hartford, if someone put forth some kind of bill or policy that was racist, but it was in favor of someone that's black or brown, she will be in favor of it. So that makes her what? Correct. A racist. It would be no different if I was on your board of ed and you put a policy in front of me and I said, oh, well, I support this because this supports, all the white people and poo-poos all the others. What would I be? I would be a racist. And I should be called out for it. Especially if I was, wearing a dildo on my forehead to look like a unicorn. I would make a unicorn noise, but I don't know what they sound like right now. I know what cats sound like. Unbelievable. I can't. It's 2026, folks. It's 2026. Never in my wildest dreams, when I started podcasting, never in my wildest dreams would I ever think, never did I dream that I would be covering a story in West Hartford, Connecticut, about a Board of Ed vice chair that is spouting racist rhetoric and wearing cat ears and thinks that everybody should just go along with it because people of West Hartford got money. Really? Do better, bro. Do better, West Hartford. Come on. Your kids deserve better. Everybody deserves better. This failed DEI loser needs to go. Like, bye-bye. I don't know what else. All right. I've rambled on long enough. I hope the audio was better. If not, I'm like I said, this is an ongoing progress. I'm going to keep trying getting better at it. But thank you again for tuning in. And if you like the episode, give it a like, share, tell your friends, hit the bell, all that thing. Hey, look at that. Apparently my share is sinking. All right, I got to get a new chair again. Whatever. Hey, I lost weight. That episode's coming soon. But yeah, follow me on X, Eric Not Sorry. Definitely more spicy there. Facebook, I'm at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And until next time.